Okay. To go up on our D2L page, under content, I've been keeping this pretty much updated. And if you look under course files, under the schedule, right here, course schedule, okay, I've been trying to keep this pretty much updated with what we've been doing. And today is the 1st of October right here. Then we have next Monday. The next Wednesday is my proposed exam date. Okay? It still might change. That's what I'm proposing we take it. But we do have to finish chapter 6 first, so I might move it back a day or something. But that's what I'm proposing at the moment we take it. Okay? If it looks like for sure we're going to have it, that means next Monday I will give you some sort of idea of what's going to be on it. It's just not there yet. So, all right. But I have been updating this, so please do check this page. Okay? And if you're wondering why the video from Monday didn't get up there until late, actually didn't get up till Tuesday morning, was because Monday, as soon as I got out of class, IT services wanted to update my computer. They literally used it for the entire rest of the day and then remotely in my computer when I went home even. So I couldn't do anything until the next morning. Sorry, they were installing software, and I got a new machine, and they're still not all the way fixed yet. But okay, so everybody okay on where the exam is going to be? If you click on the midterm exam, it says nothing at the moment. So don't freak out. It's not there yet. The exam will consist of some multiple choice questions for sure. It will consist of what's wrong with this code type questions. So you will have that. So, who's in here has had a test of mine before? I know Cameron has. Anyone else? No one else has? Okay. They're challenging, but they need to be. All right. So thanks for pointing that out. I forgot to tell you. But I'm expecting next Wednesday. And if that's going to happen next Monday, I'll give you an idea of what's on the test so you have a couple days of study. And I found that even if, nothing against you guys, this is an overall statement. If something's due on Monday, most people wait till Sunday. Overall, that's how it works. You get anomalies like Cameron, who actually starts on it immediately, but most don't. I had an assignment due last night at midnight. I had people email me at 10 o'clock last night. I'm like, seriously? It's due in 2 hours. You're literally emailing me 2 hours before it started, before it's due, and this one student's like, I can't get it to work. I'm like, 10 o'clock at night, the night before it's due? And that wasn't this class, by the way. I said, no, that's unacceptable. All right, I need to get this smaller so we can continue on. All right. So let's continue on where we left off. Okay, we just made that line. Everybody remember that? I made a white diagonal line. And my code is right here. I'm doing it all in a separate PY file, then I'm going to run it with F5. Okay? So, what I want to do, so if I, remember this here, import C image. Hopefully you all got that to work at home. Hopefully. Then we're creating the window called line image. We're setting let me make this a little wider. We're setting the width, height and width. Then we're creating an empty image. We're creating a white pixel, and then we're setting the pixel to white. Actually, this isn't white anymore. This was that greenish color how can I make it, how do I make this red? Does anyone remember?
The first one.
255. Will that be red?
Yeah.
Okay, let's run that. Now we have a red line. Okay, that's okay with everybody understand? Well, I want an X. How can I modify this? Because it's not in the book. How can I modify this code to make an X out of it? Y'all need to tell me what to do. We already have the one line. How do I either get the line coming from the bottom or the other line? I'm not going to do it. We have to figure it out as a class.
Line image.
Okay, so, well, I mean, it's going to have to be another loop. Because that first loop draws that.
For I in range of negative 300.
Actually, I could do it in one, but yeah, we'll just make it second. For I, what?
For I in range of negative 300 foot. I guess put range on first.
Oh, shh. Yeah, I got that typing issue. Okay?
then line image set pixel. I got parentheses on
We want I.
I, comma I pixel.
What do you think? Will it work? Anyone have any changes they want to make to it?
If this works, I'll be amazed.
All right, let's take bets. We're pretending we're in Vegas.
I put down everything in my pocket.
There's nothing wrong.
That it's going to work or not work?
That it is going to work. I put everything in my pocket.
You probably have nothing in your pocket.
You don't know that.
I just said that.
Leave wrong.
All right, we got a problem. Come on, we got to fix it.
Alright, what do I do?
Let's see what happened.
What do we need to do?
It overrode the other line image, right? So it drew the first line and then it drew the
thought
second
that
one.
was
So we
two.
got
Okay, let's comment out the first line so we can see what the actual second line is doing, okay? So we comment out the first line. Let's see what the second line is doing.
Nothing.
That's how I felt too.
That's a good thought.
Why? Why is it doing nothing? I don't know what part we need to fix. I don't know what part we need to fix.
Oh, you talking about negative 300?
Make everything go backward.
So you gotta change that negative 300?
What do we need to do? Come on, think.
For iron range
What do we need to fix?
Maybe if we make coordinates for I negative.
Oh, you mean negative I?
Yeah.
leave the negative 300 do?
And make it just positive.
Okay. This is Cameron's suggestion.
Oh, Cameron, you're worse.
Awesome.
than
I'm worse. I got
Yours actually crashes.
I am. At least mine didn't crash.
we didn't get to work.
All right, what do we need to do? Come on.
Negative 300 up there.
Okay, let's put the negative 300 back in here.
You gotta have that.
Okay, we no longer crashed.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we don't even have a red car, blue car. We don't even have a car.
It
Which
made
way is it
nice.
going?
At least it
Because
didn't
it's white.
crash.
It made
Which way is it going? 'Cause
It's
white.
not white. Remember, we changed it to red.
Right here.
Wait, so I just didn't draw a line.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Is it the
Come on, think. Covered this.
Do you have to make a new line image with the negative 300?
We can use the same line image. It won't cause an issue. Because line image is just an empty image, and we're telling it where to write. So we need to tell it to.
Let's put 600 and see what it does.
Put a 600 here. All right.
oh we got that.
So, how can I troubleshoot what it's actually doing? How about if we look and see what I is doing?
Okay.
Won't that be helpful? Let's print an I. At least we're going to see what I is doing. What? Why is I doing nothing? Why didn't I even do this line once? Come on.
I is not
What are we telling it on this line right here?
Oh, because since we changed it to negative I, it's not going for I. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's because we changed it to negative I there.
Okay, well, let's change it back to positive I.
yeah, it's still
Let's see what it does.
changed you. Well, you didn't change the
Got
negative.
there.
You changed the negative 600. You didn't change the negative
Oh, I'm sorry. So you want to put negative 600 and put negative I here?
I. No, get rid of yeah.
Negative I there?
No, you won't get that because you're not
You would have to do for negative I in range, right?
For negative I right here?
Yeah.
Nope, can't do that. Cannot assign a negative value. So we know that's wrong. How does range work? It goes from 0 to where? So it goes from 0 up to negative 600. So it doesn't run at all. Because we start at 0, we go up, we're already,
You're going negative.
so we never even run. How do we fix that?
So you gotta go bigger than it. You have to make it.
Use a positive number.
Okay, use a positive number. Okay, let's go to positive number. Oh, now we crash.
All right, we're back where we started.
All right. How are we going to fix this? Come on. Someone tell me how to fix range. Okay, let's get rid of these negatives in here as well. Okay, now at least we got it to run.
Right.
And we have a line. But it's the same darn line as the other one. How do we make it go the other way?
Can
Okay.
we make the entire statement negative?
So I'm going to put that back to 300 real quick. Just so it's, because we're trying to overwrite a space outside the area. Okay. So what do we do now? Come on, think of range. How does range work? Anyone remember? So we're telling for I in range, so the values are, actually let's just change it to 30 so we can see it on the screen, okay? What are the values we're getting? We're getting 0 to 29. Remember, it's one less than the value. So 0 to 29 is what we're getting. How can I change it? What do we need this to do?
You go the opposite direction. So you don't have to go.
You just want to flip it.
So how do I flip it? So we're starting at 0. We're going to 30. So we're drawing a lamp down.
There has to be something to do with the number that changes.
So I starts at 0, so it's going 0, 1, 2. So it's putting a pixel at 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. Where do you want it to print it?
So you have to have another. You have to have another.
So would it
Number
be
up there, wouldn't it?
negative? I'd be the negative. Would it be 4.5?
Okay, so if we're drawing something, we're starting at 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. What do we want that to be? Instead of 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. What do we want it to be?
Metric.
Huh? Okay, let's look at this picture. This top corner up here is 0, 0. Then it's doing 1, 1. Then 2, 2, 3, 3, all the way down to 300, 300. Which way do you want this line to draw?
Go from
Left or right to left?
Right to left.
image. You have to do
So we want to go from here. So what number do we want to start with?
600 on the way down to 0.
So we want to start at the higher number going down to a lower number.
So you want to start this case at 300 going down
So
to 0.
300 is 0.
How do I do that?
So you have to start with 0.
You gotta use range the right way.
That's why I was highlighting range. So how do I use the range the right way?
You say where it starts.
Remember, if we supply one argument to range, that's the ending. If we supply 2, what do we use?
Start and stop.
So if we want to go from 30 to what?
0.
0. Okay, so we try that?
Let's try that. Yeah, good work. Oh, man, good job, Dave.
Okay, didn't work. So what happened was, you drew a dot at 30. We're already above 0, so we're done.
Oh. It's got to be the other way.
-1.
There you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
All right.
So -1.
Step by
Remember the step? I'm just going to move a space, that's all. Okay, so we're getting somewhere.
Ah,
Still not working.
The same way it was drawing it earlier.
But look at our numbers over here. So now at least instead of a 0 to 30, we got 30 to 0. Okay? So we're at least
On the right track.
we're on the right track. So how do we fix this? Do we need to do something down here?
You gotta use another item.
So we started at 30. So we were drawing at 30, 30, 29, 29, 28, 28. So we were going backwards. So what do we need to do instead? What numbers do we want to draw it at? Instead of 0, 0, all the way down to 30, 30. What do we want to draw it at?
30 to 0.
30 to 0. But what are both coordinates?
X.
X and Y. I want to know both coordinates. Remember, 0, 0 is 0x and 0y. Then 1x and 1y. What do we want? What's the x coordinate and the y coordinates we want to start at?
Well, we're going to be going negative because I'm going right to left.
15.
Well, we want to go right to left. It's not 15. So the first position is 30 and what?
30 and 0.
30 and 0.
Oh,
So you wanna be
yeah,
30 and
start
30?
30 and 0. Okay, I got you.
Okay, 30x, 0y.
Okay.
So how do we change this to go 30 and 0? Then what would the next number be?
It'd be 29.
29 and
And 1.
1.
29 and 1.
Okay. It'll actually be negative 30.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Actually, this would be positive, but the x would be negative. So, well,
Yeah, the X.
all right. Let's not worry about the negative for a moment. So, how are we going to change this? So, if we want 30 and 0,
You have to change it to.
I'm just guessing. What if I did that? Let's see what that does for us.
Oh, you're getting somewhere. Opposite direction now. So you have to change it.
See what I did?
Yeah.
Then go farther.
So, if I change this to 300, and change this to 300, you see what I did? Because remember, actually, let me run that one more time real quick. Because the first one we wanted to draw was at 30 and 0, and 29 and 1, you know. So what I told it was, draw it at 30, actually 300, I'm sorry. 300 and 300 minus I, which was 300 to begin with. So 300 minus 300 is 0. So we have 300 and 0. Then I increments, or actually decrements. So then I becomes 299. So then it's 299, and 300 minus 299 is 1. Everybody see how we did that? Yes, maybe? So I can go up here now, get rid of this. Should it do both?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Wasn't in the book. I just figured it was a good exercise to bring in some other stuff. Actually, we need to now remove this.
Is that like a test question?
Actually, it could be. But that was probably a little too complex for the test. Okay. That's too complex for the test.
Thank God I'm glad to do
Okay. Because I think we all would have failed. Because that's one of those things that you really need to, okay, what is it really doing? You notice I put the print I in there so we can see what it's doing. That's so important. A lot of times you guys send me stuff, I need help with this. What I do is I take your code and I put a print statement in there. What is it really doing? Oh, then that's how I figured it out. So, and once we finally got our numbers to be counting backwards, we were on the right track. So, all right. So, clear as mud? A little bit clear. I mean, some of us, I think, had some input on that. Okay. I think this was the big step, the hurdle was that right there, the whole step. And then this. Those are the two things we were hung up on. All right. Remember, range is 0 to the number minus 1. We wanted to start at 300 and go backwards. All right. So, okay. Good job. Maybe. Somewhat. All right. Now let's talk about some other things we can do. Let's talk about negative images. Okay. I want to get it to show my picture on the screen again. Do y'all remember how we did that? How'd we do that? I'm going to go back up here real quick and get my picture to be back on the screen again. If I can find it. There it is. Y'all remember that? All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wipe out all the stuff we just did. Okay. I'm going to delete all this stuff right there. I'm going to say Ken equals file image, oops, Ken.gif. Then Ken.draw my image win. Okay. Now is it capital K or lowercase k? I think it's capital K. I can't remember. That's just Ken Dewey, isn't it? Text my file called. It's Ken Dewey. That's why. Okay. So that should work. Darn it. Why isn't it working? Someone help me.
File image, capitalize the F.
Capitalize the F. You mean this here? Oh, okay. Let's try that one. Nice. But it sucks. I have a receding hairline at one corner. That's all we can see. How do we fix that? Those of you who did the bonus should know quite easily.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, make it bigger.
You have to just do
Get rid of
the
the
height.
What is it?
So Ken dot.
Oh, okay, Ken dot. Think so?
He's gonna better than he's.
Darn it! I already defined it.
You had to define it before.
I've already defined it. It's defined right there.
Move the line up.
Why would it matter?
It just does.
Why?
It's executed after you already did it.
Okay, this is an interpreter. It goes line by line by line. It doesn't compile ahead of time. So when I had to define Ken first. Now we know what Ken is. Oh yeah, much better, much better. This is actually a few years ago when I had a little bit less gray. Okay. What?
You got remarried.
Actually, that was, I was nominated as the Faculty of the Year for the South Central region of the United States. I won that, but I didn't win the whole United States. It sucked, but it worked. I got a free trip to San Francisco, and yeah, all right, let's continue on where we were just at. Okay, now let's talk about negative images. Okay, y'all remember, okay, some of you are probably too young. Cameron has probably never seen this, but does anyone remember you actually, when you had these devices, that you opened the back and put this film in them and closed them and then took pictures, and took it out, brought it to Walmart or somewhere, paid money to get it developed,
Walmart didn't exist then.
and then you realized that you had 3 pictures of a table, but they still developed them, so you still had to pay for it. Remember that? It used to suck. Well, they would give you that strip of film called a negative, which is like the inverse of your picture. Okay? Well, how do we do that now? Anyone ever use Photoshop? Photoshop actually has the ability to negate a picture. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to take my picture and negate it. Okay? And looking at this code here, okay, so we're going to define some code right here, this negative pixel. Okay? So we're taking the old pixel. So negative pixel is going to receive an old pixel. Then we're going to come up with the new red, new green, and new blue. And if we know red starts at 0 and goes up to 255, we just take 255 minus the current color, and that'll give us the opposite. Okay? So if it's 255, the opposite of that is 0. So 250 is 5. See, it's the exact opposite. Okay? So I'm going to type this in real quick. Okay. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say define. It'd be nice if y'all went through this. How do you spell negative? Negative pixel, old pixel. Okay, new red equals 255, because remember that's the maximum. Okay, Now, I'm real big on not typing stuff 40 times. So now I copied that. I'm going to change this to green. This to blue. I'm going to change this to blue. This to green. If I can spell green correctly. The new pixel equals pixel, new red, new green, new blue. Actually blue. Lowercase letters. Okay. Now, since this is actually returning something, is this a function or a method?
Function.
It's a function because it's returning a value. That'll be a great test question. Okay, I literally typed in exactly what they had on the screen. Okay, y'all agree with that? Okay, so what we're doing is this method, negative pixel, is taking our old pixel. So imagine me taking one pixel on the screen. So we're taking it and we're creating a new pixel. We're taking whatever the red was, getting the opposite. So 255 minus whatever red was. Okay, and actually I forgot the minus sign right here. I put a comma instead, my fault. Okay, same with the green and the blue. Take whatever the green was, and I'm getting the opposite. Whatever the blue was, getting the opposite. So if it was 255, 255, 255, it's now 0, 0, 0. Okay, so what if it was 200, 200, 200? What's the new one? Yeah, that should be 55, 55, 55. Okay, 255 minus that value. Can't really have a negative number in a pixel. You either have it's on or it's off. It's not really the opposite way. So we get all these new colors, then we're creating a new pixel and returning the new pixel. Okay, so let's run it. That looks exactly the same as it did before. Does anyone know why? I didn't do what? I didn't do anything with it. I defined a function. I'm just not using it yet. Basically said I got this new method or new function, but I'm not going to do anything with it. Okay. And that's the end of that section of the book. Let's go to the next section. Okay, 65 or 95 this way. Okay. So, now I'm going to bring my code back up. And I'm going to actually comment out my other stuff, okay? I don't want to delete it because I'm going to need it in a minute, okay? I'm just going to comment it out, and I'm going to do what they did. A pixel equals pixel 155, 23, 230, okay? Then if I want to see what it is, print a pixel. I'm not doing the whole thing yet. I just want to see what that is. So if I run this, where did I screw up? A. Oh, what's wrong with it? Someone help me? Parentheses, okay. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, so we got on the screen 155, 23, and 230. That's exactly what I passed it. Well, that's what I made. Okay, now I want to say negative pixel. I want to pass it a pixel. Alright, so what am I going to get on the screen now? Am I going to get 155, 23, 230, or the opposite of that? I don't agree with that. Oh, first of all, I made a typo. Let me fix the typo. Where? Oh, right here. Let's give it a G. Okay. It's not. That was not meant to be there. What the heck? Okay. So I have my pixel, which is 155, 23, 230. I call negative pixel. yet I still get 155, 23, 230. How come?
You didn't save it to a pixel.
I saved it. I hit F5 and clicked yes to save.
You didn't make it a variable.
Oh, I didn't make it a variable. So basically you're saying is I really need to say a pixel equals.
Absolutely.
Remember we did that in a couple of the programs. I said you have to, remember when you're replacing the text, you got to save it over top with a string. Now it's better. So the opposite of 155, actually, you know what we need to do here? I want to print the pixel first, then we'll print the pixel afterward. Print. So we can see it as first, then we can see the negative, and see what it does. Should you all agree that's the opposite of it? Why not? Okay, let's see why. So here's my initial pixel. I defined it, 155, 23, 230. And I print that on the screen. Everybody okay with that? Then I'm calling the method negative pixel, and I'm passing it those values. So I'm passing it 155, 23, and 230. So up here, I'm receiving 155, 23, and 230. Everybody okay there? So then I'm saying, okay, that old pixel, the red value is what? 155. So I'm saying the new red value is 255 minus 155. So 255 minus 155 gives us 100. Then I do the same thing for the green and the blue. Then I say create me a new pixel. So remember, the new red is now 100. So I'm creating a new pixel based on 100 and the other values. Then I'm saying return the new pixel. So this method, or this function call here, returns that new pixel with the red of 100 and overwrites the original pixel. And outputs that. So now we end up with 100. You see that? Okay. It does the same for the green and blue. So really what we did is we took the color it initially had, subtracted it from 255, and created a brand new pixel with that value. Okay? All right. So far, so good. So we really created a negative pixel there. Let's continue on. Okay. Now, let's talk about this for a second. I don't want to delete my code, but I'm going to comment this out because I'm going to need it in a minute. I can always, uncomment it later. I'm going to type in what they have here. For num in range, got a lot of rage in me, I guess. For ch in cat, okay, print num, comma ch. All right. So I basically got the same thing he has. And I'm going to run this as soon as I find my mouse. Okay, I'm going to run this. And I should get the same thing he has. Except I have a syntax error. Darn it, what's wrong with it? Semicolon? Colon. I need a colon there. So is that fixed now? No, what's wrong with it? This needs to be indented. Like that? And? Like that, okay. So now we get CatCat. Well, let's talk about what the heck we just did. Okay. Just like he did on the page here, he got CatCat. We have a loop inside of a loop. Okay. It's kind of like I'm going grocery shopping. I'm going to drive to Walmart, which is like the evil place. But loop one is I drive to Walmart, and I'm going to continue to drive around until I find a parking spot. Once I find a parking spot, then I'm going to continue shopping until I go my groceries. So it's really a loop inside of a loop, if you think about it. Or maybe, have you ever gone looking for something that they don't have in stock, so you check store 1, then you check store 2, check store 3, or you can do the same thing online. I'm going to check, like I bought some stuff I use to go to the gym, some workout supplements. I checked Amazon. I always check Amazon first. Then I check the cost at the base GNC store. Then I check Google and found it cheaper. So I had a loop finding the store. Then once I found the store I wanted, then I bought all the products I want. So it was a loop inside of a loop. So what this thing here said, for number in range 3. So num, what were the values of num? 0, 1, 2. Okay? Why not 3? Because you don't include 3. Because range, passing one argument means 1 less than whatever the heck number you're passing in. So 0, 1, and 2. Alright. So num, first time through, num was set at 0. Hence the 0 on the screen here. Okay? Then we have a new loop. So num is set at 0. Then for CH and cat. What is CH? Okay, but does it have to be CH? Could I call it dog? As long as I change this one to dog? Let's just make sure. Still works. So really the CH is just a what? It's just a variable. So it makes you know it doesn't stand for character in this place. But he's using it for each character in it, but really it's just a variable. Remember, cat is a string, which is really made up of 3 characters. So, for the first character in cat, all the way to the last character in cat. So remember, num started at 0. So then we're going to the first character in cat. So we print out num, which was 0. And then we print out the CH, which is the first character in cat. So we get 0C. Then since we're still indented, we're not at the end of cat yet. So now we go back up to this statement again. Okay, since we're not at the end of cat, so now we're going to print the A. Num has not re-incremented yet, so num is still 0. So now we're going to print 0, A. Go back up here. Are we at the end of cat yet? No, we're still not at the end of cat. Num is still 0, so we print 0, and then we increment to the T, so we print 0T. Alright, now are we at the end of the cat? Yes. So now we go back up to the outer loop. We already did 0, so now we increment to 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes. So now we come back in here again. We're starting this loop all over again. So now we have the C again. So we have 1 C, and 1 A, 1 T. Now we're at the end of the cat. So we jump out of this loop, and we go back up to this loop. Now we say, okay, we're at 1. We increment to 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yeah, we're still good. So num is now 2. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. So this is now 2, so we come back in here. So we're back at C again for cat. So now we're going to print 2C, 2A, 2T. We're at the end of cat. So we jump out of this loop, we go back to this loop. So we increment 2 to 3. Is 3 greater than 3 minus 1? Because remember, stops minus 1. So 3 is greater than 3 minus 1, which is 2. So 3 is greater than 2, so we're done. Everybody see that? Okay. Everybody saw how the loop inside of the loop works. The reason we need that is because if we're working with a picture, we need to do the pixels going across and the pixels going down. Not just, remember how we did the diagonal a second ago? We had to do that whole X and Y thing. Yeah, you would hate to just negate the pixels in the middle. You want to do all of them. Okay, so let's continue on. So that's what that whole point was about. Okay. One thing we can do is for row in range height, row in range width. Okay. So what if height was 50 and width was 50? So we'll go for row in 50. So row would be 0. Column will be 0. So based on this loop right here, remember it does the outer loop, then goes to the inner loop. When the inner loop finishes, it goes back to the outer loop. Everybody see that? So which way is this going across? Is it going, left to right or top to bottom? Okay, so it's going to row. So it's going row 1. or row 0. Then across. Row 2 and across. So it's going down one row at a time, but then across. Okay? Everybody got that? So each pixel is accessed by its row and its column. Because it's, I showed you that last time. Really, if you think of a picture, it's 0, 0, all the way to max row, max column. That was that 30, 30, or 300, 300, whatever we were playing with. All right. So here we have a picture. They actually negated the image. Okay. Now, let's go to make negative. Okay. And doesn't he do it in here? Okay, I wish I could just copy this out. But I can't. It sucks. Alright, I'm going to type that whole thing. I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to do it. Hold on. So it creates the image. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do it. I'm going to have to type this in here. Sorry. And it's actually a lot of typing for no reason. That's okay. But it brings up a point. And we got time to finish this one section. Sorry, it's taking a lot longer than I originally expected, but I really want to make sure you guys are, at least you kind of with me on what we're doing here, this imaging stuff. Okay. So I'm going to find this, make negative. Hey, speaking of that, on the chapter, whatever the heck we just did, chapter 4 or 5 program, did anyone else get the chart? It would have taken some manipulation to get, by the way. Just wondering. I haven't looked at them yet. So my image window equals image win. I'm just going to give it a short title. 600, 200. Okay. And actually, I don't want to do that. I can change that in a second. One second. Okay, I see a problem with this already. What happens if my picture is not 600 by 200? What? It won't fit. So how can I fix that? Where? Right here? Yep. Does it get width? We're going to leave it this way. We like this better.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. This is in remembrance of Chelsea not being here. All right. So what we just did was we're making a method called make negative. We're receiving an image file. We're making the window for it. We're making an old image and we're drawing it on the screen. Okay? Does he show us the code to run it? No, he doesn't. Seriously? I just thought he did. Oh, he doesn't. All right, let's make this draw this on the screen. Help me. I need help. I want to make this, draw this on the screen. I want to make this part work, because how could I correctly call this and make it work? Does anyone know?
First, you make an image a variable.
Okay, so make an image a variable. So what if I went up here and maybe copied that?
Yeah.
Hence, I didn't want to delete it. So I got a variable called ken, which is equal to ken_dewey.if. Now what do I do?
I'm stumped too. I don't know.
What do you think? Since we have a method now called make negative, which receives an image file, do you agree that I have a variable called ken, which is an image file? Everybody agree with that? So we're going to pass it to it. Let's see what it does. I haven't tested this, so it might blow up in my face. Darn it. What's wrong?
So, since I noticed you have the IP there, but I don't see it nowhere else.
Oh, that's just the title. So get with didn't work. Why not?
with first, and then, can't like Cameron suggested.
Do I really need to do get with first? Something else wrong there.
You spelled with right.
Oh, I spelled it right.
No, it's the
With is with a D. Come on, what's wrong?
What is that, no image file?
No image file. Who's? Good job. Excellent. I forgot to say image file dot get with. Get with is a method of the image file, and I just said get with. It's like car. You didn't give me any reference. Good job. All right. Still got an error. File image has no attribute rfind. Okay, what else did I screw up? Did I comment something? Not comment something else out? Yeah, let me comment out all this to make sure we're not interfering with it. All right, make sure. Okay, we got the image in. We got can. Call and make image. Image file. My image window. Old image. It looks correct. So what is not working? Obviously, we're not getting a picture. Why are we not getting a picture? File image has no attribute rfind. That's wrong. That's correct. Why isn't it working? All right, come on. We've got to figure it out. Okay, let's comment this line out. One at a time. Let's see if that runs. Okay, that ran. No issues there. So there's something wrong with the way I'm passing it the image file. Let's go back up and look the way we did it initially. We defined the image file. We defined a window name. And we pass it the get width, get height. Yeah, well, Ken is still the image file name. It should still work. Let's get on and look. Because since I'm receiving image file, that's Ken. So when I call image file, I'm really calling Ken.
Even though you took it out of the code up there?
I didn't take it out of the code. It's right. It's there. I just commented out there. Okay, did I call the method correctly?
Could you check? Does it matter if you got image file and file image?
Yeah, where do you see
File
that?
image, yeah.
Oh,
Image
well,
file,
no, that's correct. Oh, wait a second.
old image, if you file image, you got.
Yeah, hold on a second. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Because we already have a file image. So what I really need to pass it is just the name. Let's see if that works. Okay, because we got image files. So what we need now, we're gonna get this to work. Hold on. Remember, we got to define it first. So we did. So this is really old image, not image file. All right, now let's try it. Okay. Obviously, we got our height and width backwards. Not that anyone mentioned that. And I'll explain what we did. So, all right. Okay, now we're good. So what the heck did I have to do to make this work? Well, what it was is his code here, I wasn't reading it correctly. Because image file, I thought it was actually the image file. But when Leroy said file image file, that made me remember that is actually defining the image file right there. So remember before we had Ken defined afterwards, we had to move it beforehand. So that's what the difference was. The only reason his works after the fact is he's hard coding the 600 and the 200. We didn't want to do that. So we had to move this line up one, which we did. An image file is really just the file name. because I was calling file image twice. So we're better now. Okay, so we got our image file, and now we need to finish this part. Okay, so we got that part up. Then we need to say with, let me move this down a little, if I can see it here. Ah, wrong button. This one. Okay. So, width equals old image dot get width. How big was the old image? Width height equals old image dot get height. So in other words, how big is the original picture? Okay, because that's where we drew it. We drew that picture. So how big is it? We're getting that. Now we are going to say new image equals empty image dot width dot height, or comma height. Yeah, I forgot those darn parentheses. Okay, so we got a new one. Let's try that. So we got our first image, and we should. Okay, yeah, we didn't tell it to draw the next one, so the next one's not available yet. Okay, it'll be here in a second. So now we got our new image defined. Okay, so now we need to, for row in range height, for call in range. There's that loop we did a minute ago. Remember that 0 in cat? Do that every time. You notice I do that like every single time? Lots of rage. Original pixel equals old image dot get pixel col dot row. Okay, there's that.
I think you spelled original wrong
I wasn't gonna say anything. You got angles? You got some rage, you hate rage.
Okay, we would have found it sooner or later. Guys got bad brains going on in here.
Bad spelling going on.
Got it right that time. Okay. All right. Go back one. Are we still inside that loop? Now we gotta go back to that loop. I gotta get this in real quick, then we'll talk about it. Set position. Need a darn parenthesis. Okay, I think that's all of it. Alright, in theory, it should work now. Except for the 87 typos I got. Let's try it, then we'll walk through it. Okay, where is my... Did we not draw the new image? Oh, tuple has no attribute split. Okay, hold on. So we're having an issue... on line, let's calling it line 33. Line 33. That line there. Okay, original pixel equals get pixel column row. Let's make sure we got that correct. Original pixel equals old image dot get pixel column row. Old image, is old image correct? Where's old image? Old image is all lowercase. Old image dot get. Did I spell it? Oh, it's all spelled right, isn't it? It needs a third parameter. I think there's a slight change needed in this. Let's look at it again. Original pixel equals old image dot get pixel row column. Okay, let me go here real quick. It's called get pixel. Was that what it was? Get pixel. Okay, print blah blah blah. Get pixel. Yeah, it should take 2. It should, unless they're using a newer. I'm wondering if it changed with our version of Python. Image library. Get pixel. That's too long. We don't have time to read through all that. Yeah, so it needs the RGB. That should work. Get pixel X and Y. Alright. Why is that not working? Original pixel equals old image dot get pixel. Alright. I will have to figure out what it is. We're out of class time. But we will pick up at this point and I will figure out why is that it's not working. I had to spell something wrong. I just don't see it. Okay. So we're going to pick up right here next time. Just remember, I'm on chapter 6 test file. If you want to play with it, that's great. And that's all for today because we're out of time. Okay.